fly, man. It's unfucking believable what's going on. Let's start with the IRS funding. Now, I've become apolitical. I hate all politicians, and I hate most all politicians now. I don't fucking care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. You're both retarded. If you're in the political spectrum, you're on the spectrum. That is the truth. Okay? I hope to God my audio is coming in fucking clear. For the love of God, let's check it real quick. Boom. Ooh, I can save a highlight? Okay, so at risk of being put on one more government watch list, I have to tell you, it's hilarious to me that the IRS thinks it's going to hire 50, 100,000 new people, give them guns, give them ammo, and tell them to go collect taxes. Like, do you know what's gonna happen? That is literally like when a company is failing and it hides the cancel button or like it starts running scams to stir up more revenue. It's like not gonna work, and it's indicative of a failing strategy. You ever go and sign up for a software and you try to cancel and they force you to email the cancellation note to the department and then someone manually has to like, oh really? You set up a whole software system that automates everything and then only to not allow me to cancel automatically. Or they bill you by secret or they add secret surcharges. This is where we're at in the failing American dynasty. Now, I have conflicting views. Half of me I love Americans. I am becoming to loathe Americanism. This idea that we're so unique that our way or the highway is like the only way to live. That if oops. That this is like the only way things can work. You know what I mean? The idea that we're special because of anything but God's good grace, insane. It's so amazing. I can't believe it. That there's this meme of Dark Brandon rising, after he goes to Mar-a-Lago. Listen, I don't care what you if you're like if you're pro Biden, like you have a mental disorder. I don't know what else to say. You do. Because Biden's not pro you. None of these presidents are pro you. The only person you could think might be pro anybody is Donald Trump because he's obviously hated by the establishment. And we should all hate the establishment. So anybody they hate, I'm automatically like, enemy of my enemy is my friend. The establishment. So anybody they hate, I'm all right. Hey, the audio's coming in good. So it's insane that, the government would go after a former sitting president for like tax evasion or secret documents when George Bush literally started an illegal war and he gets to go and paint in his compound in Texas in peace and quiet. The guy bombed an entire region into oblivion and he is allowed to live peacefully for the rest of his days. And then you have fucking Dick Cheney come out and say that Donald Trump is the most egregious threat to our democracy. Motherfucker! You were the CEO of Halliburton. You got your boys no bid contracts. You literally left to bomb the shit out of every fucking country you possibly could. Like, if you are saying someone is bad, I'm automatically going to assume they're good. And these poor people, they're just like stuck in this matrix in between two fake wrestlers in this PR match. If you can see through it, then you're going insane. And it's all purposefully formulated to drive you insane. So you have to disconnect. You have to disconnect. It's the only way. Because as human beings, for some reason, our minds are very malleable to the words and actions of other human beings. And so when a person sits on a stage looking professional with a teleprompter and makeup and just a clearly expensive backdrop, getting paid more than you so they feel superior to you, so it comes across as authoritative, what they tell you is going to affect your psychology. It is going to affect your being. You have to be careful about the media you intake because it affects you. You can't ignore it. You can't go to a haunted house and not get a little scared. You can't watch endless violent movies and not get a little desensitized. It becomes a part of you. You have to be fucking careful. You have to curate your life. And you have to find a way to escape this horror show that is the US led global order. I mean, on one side, you have liberals who are begging for more fascism at home, and then on the other side, you have conservatives begging for more fascism abroad. Like, bro, what are you doing? Can we be free for the love of God without the IRS shoving a gun up our ass and threatening us for $3,000? You know that's what they're gonna do. They're just gonna write you bills. It's just like the police. They're gonna write you a chicken shit ticket, hoping that you don't come back to wherever the fuck Bumbletown that they wrote the ticket in. There's a reason they are on interstates waiting for you. Because they want people from out of state. They're not pulling over locals who can go to the courthouse and off lunch. They're gonna make you come back 8 hours. Take time off, spend the money, travel, go to court, waste your fucking life. They're probably not going to show up if you do all that. And then in the end, they're going to try to charge you for $300. It's like, dude, how is that your job? Like, if you have taken money from people as a cop for parking violations, you got karma coming your way, man. You're bad karma. Like, and I don't mean like violence. Like, please don't think I'm calling for violence on anybody. The only thing I will call violence for is fiscal violence against corporations. Some of these companies need to be put out of their misery, all right, as an entity, not physical. Don't harm anybody. Like, it doesn't require violence. It literally, to change the system, requires mass abandonment of the system. These IRS agents are going to be a joke, running up to, like, heavily armed. And that's the other thing. Are these, like, new guns going to be going after conservative businesses and people and houses where they know there's guns inside? Or are they going to come into cities and more affluent, less armed people and businesses? Like, you know what I'm saying, man? I don't know. Are they going to go after people that can shoot them or people that can sue them? That's a choice they're going to have to fucking make. And if you take that job on, man, you're getting karma. That's going to affect your life. You can't deny the way you make your money affects your being. I am sorry. You traffic minors, you will be affected by that. You kill for a living, you will be affected by that. Now, sometimes, listen, sometimes war is justified. I don't want to go to war. I don't believe in it. I don't know why you'd have to invade an entire country when a couple snipers would probably do. Or better yet, a fucking actually free and open election might solve the real problems. But what do I know? The way you make your money determines how happy you can be. It really does. It really, really does. So these people are sacrificing their happiness. And sometimes soldiers have to sacrifice their happiness for the sake of the community. I'm not saying open the walls and let everyone in. I believe in soldiers. I don't believe in the nanny, deep, bureaucratic, administrative state. Like, they have failed us. Inflation. I mean, think about how shitty our culture is. Microplastics everywhere, no regulation. Fucking pesticides and everything, no regulation. Completely gutted manufacturing base, no regulation. School shootings left and right, no regulation. cars that are becoming like increasingly hard to manufacture because they require too many goddamn microchips. Too much regulation, right? It's like insane. All people want is to just live a normal fucking life. And it's becoming harder and harder and harder. And a lot of that is psychologically determined. Like your mindset determines how happy you're going to be. The work you do will determine how happy you can be. It's baked into the laws of reality. I can't change it. You can't change it. That's the way it is, man. So it's time. It's time to free yourself from this. Don't fight some idiot civil war that you don't need to be fighting. These idiots are going to come together and they're going to do whatever the fuck they want to do. And I'm not going to be in between them. If you're dumb enough to believe in CNN and you're dumb enough to believe in Fox News, and then you're going to pit yourself against someone you've never met to defend someone you'll never meet, then what the fuck am I going to do to stop you? There's literally nothing I can do to stop you. One man cannot stop the fall of Rome. One man cannot stop the suicide of the West. I mean, it's literally a self-inflicted suicide. And so, what do you do? What do you do? What do I do? Here's what I'm doing, okay? I'm creating businesses. If you're an American and you're not creating a business, like, you are missing the point. The whole, like, all we have here is money. Nothing else fucking holds this company together like money. And if the money's gone, dude, the country's gonna fall apart. It's gonna be brutal. Because what do people do here for self-care? They go to the spa. They go to a restaurant. They go to a bar. They go on vacation where they force somebody else that makes a lot less of them to care for them for a certain amount of time because they're paying. That's our national pastime, is making and spending money. Our biggest export is money and our biggest import is sex slaves. I mean, it's fucking insane how hard we're numbing ourselves as a society. Porn sites, drugs, promiscuity. I mean, like, listen, I'm not saying a little bit is good. A little bit of excess is good. Everything in moderation, including excess, as Oscar Wilde said before they killed him for being gay. It's okay to splurge, but when you're trying to you're the rat on in the cage hitting the dopamine button over and over and over again, you got a problem. You got to step back and you got to zoom out and you got to remember, what the fuck are you here for? Are you here to consume? It can't be right. That makes no sense. I say you're here to produce. You're here to produce, to create. You were made in the image of the Creator to create. So it's time to create. Now, I don't have an MBA. I have maybe a master in business, in badassery. I learned from the streets. I learned business from some of the best Chicago businessmen to ever grace that city. I've learned across every marketing job I've ever had how the business operates. I'm a professor of business, and I believe that business will not only solve all your problems, all the world's problems. I really believe this. I don't know, and I'm watching this great interview by Lex Friedman, where he's interviewing Richard Wolff on Marxism and communism. And I used to fucking hate that shit. And then I recently got fired. Last Friday was my last day at a company, and I'm like, this sucks, man. You get really sympathetic as soon as you get fired because you feel the power dynamic. The lack of empathy someone has towards you when they're firing you, it like really affects you. And you start thinking like, what the fuck, dude? I was ready to make this guy a billionaire, man. I'm not fucking kidding. I literally found something that was going to make him up to $2 to $10 billion a year. Like a huge opportunity that he could tap into right now. And I couldn't convince the team. My political standing fell apart. The new boss, it was a whole confluence of things. I could not have played my hand much better. And, perception in a business, maybe in all aspects, trumps performance. You can have the best performance, but it doesn't matter if your perception's the worst, if you're perceived poorly. You can have terrible performance, but if your perception is good enough, your performance doesn't matter. So isn't that how it fucking goes? So I'm really obsessed with starting new businesses so that one pops and takes off. And what I learned at this last company, I've been I have an indoor farming business. I have a restaurant business, and now I'm launching some fucking apps. Okay? Because the app game is about to change. And it's insane. I know how to grow apps. I know how to monetize apps. I always thought, well, you have to hire a bunch of fucking programmers to make the apps. That's not true anymore. I looked into it, and there seems to be a way to make apps much faster, at least initially now. And I'm gonna, I have this, I'm developing this, what would you call it, manufacturing process for mass producing apps, so that you get them out there, you see what works in the real world, and then you focus on rebuilding that properly and so on and so forth. But it's almost like prototypes, rapid prototypization. I'm an R&D guy. I'm that's my role in almost everything. People give me really hard projects. I research and develop the way to make them work. I rarely am the one that scales up the operations, or manages anyway the operations at scale. That's just like not. I could fucking care less. I could not care less. I could not care less than operating something that doesn't change or grow. Like, I need rapid change. And so my place is at the 0 to 1. 0, maybe negative infinity to 1. All the ideas that are potential to getting something just off the ground. Because you put a fucking ad out there, you put an app out there, you put a restaurant out there, you do whatever in the real world, the odds of success for any random idea round to 0. If anyone bites on an idea you throw out there, that's like, it's in a, 10% less? 5% of ideas get nibbles? You know what I mean? Something like that. And 1% become like really successful. And so it's all about figuring out what is that positioning that differentiates the restaurant that is super successful from the restaurant that isn't. Because they could be right next to each other. And, I go into a kind of like a subsidized cafeteria with like a bunch of different vendors, and the city kind of lowers rent so the new concepts can come and get tested out. And like one person, and none of them are doing great. They're all doing okay. A lot of them have great food, but they're fucking bad business people, and they won't take business advice. If you're coachable and you're determined, you can conquer the world. If you're extremely talented and won't fucking hear it from anybody, you're fucked. It's just never gonna work out. And if you do, it's gonna be someone that comes in and cleans up the mess after you that will make you successful in hindsight. But like one company sells, it calls themselves a cheese shop, has a giant display of delicious fancy cheeses, another slightly smaller display of like delicious fancy meat, and then some like high-end tinned seafood, and lets you buy meat by the pound, cheese by the pound, they're tinfoil, and then they're trying to push the tin seafood charcuteries for like $15, $20. I'm like, nobody fucking wants in America, in this location, like a smoked mackerel from a tin. That's not perceived as high value in America. That's perceived as cat food in America. No matter how good it is, and no matter where it comes from in Europe, it is what it is. And then these motherfuckers will only let you buy one baguette, one sandwich. They have like grilled cheeses, which again, nobody fucking wants a fancy grilled cheese. They want a gross, delicious, fatty cream cheese, grilled cheese. And they have a baguette of the day. And I will order it because it's the only one they offer. Now, you can't fucking get a custom sandwich. All the cheeses, all the bread, all the deli, right there. They won't make you a sandwich. Like, you're losing money. You should rename yourself and call yourself a goddamn deli. You know what I'm saying? Hey, honey. Can I get 5 more minutes? Hey, Bubba. Hi, honey. My family just walked in. Okay. So embarrassing. But I love them a lot. So this is why I work. A man without a family will become homeless because it's too much effort to try. But these 4 make me work with my butt off. And I love it. And then the other guy, pizza place. Great pizza place. Won't sell slices. They say no slices. Remember the pizza you bought the other day? Or you had at that place? You had pizza, remember? Was it yummy? It was really yummy. Honey, don't do that, please. They won't sell you a slice. So you come in on the streets. Caroline, please stop. And the one thing you want, they won't give it to you. So you go somewhere else. Because you immediately see there's certain things where you're like, I have to waste so much energy getting what I want from this company, this person, that I'm not willing to spend it when someone else will give it to me with zero energy and effort. I'm live right now. Carol Ann, please don't put it. What are you doing? No. Tut. Did you have fun today? So, it's these little things that can make a business super successful. So now I'm really into apps because indoor farming, horrible business, very, very tough. Lost all my hair finding the route to success, not even traversing. I'm like on step 5. I'm under 10 on the 100 scale. I mean, it's like very, very early. The burger restaurant, holy shit, kill me now. I have 2 more weeks to prove it out or else I'm winding it down. It's a brutal business. Apps though. You make one thing. It's like having a store that everyone in the world can come to simultaneously. You can change it instantaneously, and you can show different versions of the store to everybody that comes in. This is my daughter, Carol Ann. She's 6. She's so smart and pretty and funny and not annoying at all. I tickle you, young lady. So we're going to explore this app business. We're going to launch a bunch of apps. We're going to make billions of dollars. I'm not fucking kidding you. We are. I guarantee it. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be simple. If anybody wants to join me and learn how to do business without venture capital, without investors, on your own, or with a couple people, for practically free, and find the thing that takes off, that is take-offable, that can take off with minimal effort, maximum profit, then you want to talk to me. I think I'm setting up some sort of membership site, something nominal, $30 a month. You have to apply by emailing me the URL of your projects, and if it's bad for humanity, you're not in. If it's good for humanity, I will teach you how to become a multimillionaire, if not a billionaire, if you're willing to become the person that the world needs from you. If not, that's okay. You can start something and sell it to someone else. There's a million ways to get this done. But I'm going to help everybody. It's going to be awesome. Let's do this.